Over the last 10 years or so, I've probably bought about 40 E36s and parting out maybe about half of them. And while in today's market, that was probably a bad idea, 10 years ago, they were dirt cheap, $500 cars that it made more sense to part them out, and they were worth more that way. And while parting them out has definitely left me with some cool parts like this Hella Heck Blend for an E36 sedan, or these ZKW headlights, it's also left me with some boring parts like these climate controls and these OBCs. And then after you're done parting the cars out, what do you do with these parts? For me, I've been storing them in bins. I use them from time to time when I do end up buying an E36 to flip, but because of the current market, I haven't really done that lately, other than the E36 Ti, but a lot of the parts for that, on the interior at least, differ from a standard E36. And that leads me to what I'm going to be doing today. I have a few OBCs. This is an 18 button. I need to test them to see if they're good, so today I'm going to show you how to bench test an E36 OBC. In order to bench test an E36 OBC, power and ground need to be applied to specific pins on the connectors on the back side. All I'm using here today is, this is a battery tender, a 12 volt 6 and 2 amp tender. I'm going to set on the 6 amp setting. And then I also have some 18 button OBC pigtails that I cut out of a car from the junkyard. I'm going to just strip some wire back on the specific pins that I need to direct power and ground to, connect them to the jump box, and we'll see if the OBC works. Here's the basic rundown of an 18 button OBC. On the back side, you've got two connections. You've got a black one that's the X1070. You've got a white one that's the X1071. On the black connector, pin 14 needs to be provided with power. On the white connector, X1071, pin 8 needs power and pin 13 needs to be grounded. Now I'm just going to take my OBC. I have connectors that I put on the ends of the wires that go to the correlating pins for each connector. I'm going to plug those into the OBC and then supply power and ground where it needs it. And this is where I use my 12 volt jump box. And as you can see, the OBC is functioning. All the lights are coming on. It's flickering a little bit. It's mainly from my connections on the back side, but I can hit the check button, kind of go through its functions. Some things aren't available because it's not hooked up to the car, but this is a good way to check and see if all your pixels are working, if all your bulbs work, and just a solid way to bench test an E36 OBC. Now this is an 18 button. The process is different for anything less than an 18 button. Haven't worked through that all the way, but maybe I will eventually. This one doesn't have enough bulbs in it to work. I have to swap them around, so I just wasn't worried about it. The 18 buttons traditionally always had a little more value too, but that's pretty much it. You could do this without the pigtails from the junkyard. I had done that before. I had snipped these out the last time I was there. I was just using some jumper wires, some terminals kind of crushed to slide over the pins on the connectors, but that worked too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how to bench test an E36 OBC. So I'll either put this back in my parts bin with a label on it that says works, or throw it up for sale in the next kind of large parts that I list for sale. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps.